Good morning, Santa Ignacia. This is MAPI Grade 10 School on Radio. I'm so glad that you are listening with your new favorite school on the air through radio. Today, join me in a 30-minute exploration in media-based arts and designs in the Philippines. I am your teacher broadcaster, Raymar Racasopnet of Kaanamongan National High School. How are you, dear learners? I hope you are all in good health and free from COVID-19 virus. Are you ready for our lesson today? Go to your most comfortable place and listen as I talk about media-based arts and designs in the Philippines. This is your radio teacher on the air, Raymar Racasopnet of Kaanamongan National High School. First, let me remind you about some things that you need to consider while listening. Make sure that you have the following materials within your reach: ballpen or pencil, paper or notebook, your compendium of notes, your written works 1 and 2, and performance tasks 1 and 2. Remember that those materials were given to you last Monday during our distribution of learning materials. Alright, let us start with our lesson. Let us begin with a recap in our lesson on the air last week. Contemporary Philippine music refers to compositions that have adopted ideas and elements from 20th century art music in the West, as well as the latest trends and musical styles in the entertainment industry. Filipino traditional music portrays the beliefs, customs, and traditions of the rural folks. Traditional music may be classified such as to glorify the beauty of nature, courtship, music, or welcome songs. Three main characteristics are exemplified by traditional ethnic music are cantata, the use of a cappella, and lastly, the sonata form is used. Some of the 20th century traditional Filipino composers are Ryan Cayabyab, Alfredo Benaventura, Rosendo Santos Jr., Lucio San Pedro, Felipe de Leon Sr., Rodolfo Cornejo, Antonio Benaventura, Hilarion Rubio, Antonio Molina, Nicanor Abelardo, Francisco Santiago, and Francisco Bencamino Sr. Before we proceed with our topic in arts, let us first listen to an original composition of Francisco B. Bencamino Sr., a 20th century traditional Filipino composer. The title of the music is Himig ng Nayon. Since we are done with our topic in music for the third quarter, today we will be learning arts, the second component of MAPE. Our topic today is about media-based arts and design in the Philippines. So let us start with the definition of photography. Photography is the art, application, and practice of creating durable images by recording light or other electromagnetic radiation, either electronically by means of an image sensor or chemically by means of a light-sensitive material such as photographic film. The photographer as artist. Focusing a camera at a subject and clicking the shutter is photography as a process. Discerning a significant moment or a unique expression, framing it in the camera viewfinder with an eye for composition, and then clicking the shutter is photography as art. In pictorial shoot, the photographer may position lighting, modify the lens setting, or use filters to create an effect he or she has conceptualized beforehand. It becomes clear how the photographer has captured the elements of form, color, light and shadow, texture and composition to create a true work of art. Photography as communication. Being a modern art form means that photography is now viewed as being more than just about the beautiful. It is also considered one of the most powerful means of communication. Next to the printed word, the photographic image is today's most important means of conveying information and ideas, expressing emotions, even championing causes. This power comes from two distinctive characteristics of photography: immediacy and details. An image recorded by a camera has a sense of authenticity. Because the lens captures the image objectively, the resulting photograph is regarded as true to life and of the moment. At the same time, the camera takes in every detail of an image. Thus, the photograph has sense of completeness. For these reasons, photographs are vital tools in communication fields such as journalism, advertising, education, and even in courts of law. They have also been used to eloquently speak out against social and political issues. So we also have noteworthy Philippine photographers. The Philippines has joined the rest of the world in applying the wonders of modern photography to every aspect of life, from personal to professional to national to global. And with our country's natural beauty, a number of local photographers have taken on the Philippines and our people as a major focus of their lenses. Among these are George Tapan. He is an award-winning travel photographer who has won 2 Pacific Asia Tourism Association Gold Awards, an ASEAN Tourism Association Award, and first place in the 2011 National Geographic Photo Contest. His highly acclaimed work has been published in 5 travel photography books. Next is John K. Chua. He is best known as advertising and commercial photographer. With over 40 years of experience and numerous local and international awards for his work, at the same time, he has applied his photo artistry, showcasing the beauty of the Philippines. In a film is a motion or moving pictures that it has been recorded so that it can be shown at cinema or a television. It tells a story in real situation. You can use the camera to take the moving pictures which can be viewed in screen, cinema, or either your own television. So did you know the top 10 highest rated movies of 2019? So here is a trivia for you. The first is Joker. Second is Avengers Endgame. Third, Parasite. Fourth, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Number 5 is the Toy Story 4. Number 6, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 7, Cold War. And the number 8, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Number 9 is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. And number 10 is El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Another art form which has risen to tremendous heights within the last century is film or cinema. As its early name, motion pictures declared, film brought yet another dimension into play, that of moving images. The possibilities of this medium created a new art form that was to become a powerful social and economic force and a legacy of the 20th century to the world. Cinema, just as all modern arts, has been greatly influenced by technology. In the case of cinema, however, it is an art form that came into being because of technological advances. The transition from still photography came in the late 1800s with series photography and the invention of celluloid strip film. This allowed successive still photos of a moving object to be captured on a strip of film advancing through a single camera. This was seed of the highly advanced film medium we enjoy today. The need to view these moving images led to the rise of the kinetoscope, a peep show cabinet with an eye hole through which these earliest movies could be viewed one person at a time. A motor inside the cabinet moved the film strip along in a loop, with an electric bulb providing illumination from beneath. In the meantime, European and American inventors were providing one technological advancement after another. The French developed the cinematography, a hand-crank camera, printer, and projector all in one that was lightweight enough to bring outside the studio. By 1901, the earliest motion pictures were rapidly progressing from one scene studio films to multiple scene narrative film outdoors. Driven by this and many more advances, the art aspect of filmmaking was born. Filmmaking is the process of making a film. It involves a number of discrete stages including an initial story, idea, or commission, through script writing, casting, shooting, editing, and screening the finished product before an audience that may result in a film release and exhibition, and takes place in many places around the world in a range of economic, social, and political contexts, and using a variety of technologies and cinematic technologies. In addition, it involves a large number of people. Filmmaking, because of its technical complexity, involves the entire artists, writers, and production experts, supported by technicians taking charge of the cameras, lighting equipment, set, props, costumes, and the like, all under the supervision of a film director. It is the director, like the painter and sculptor in tradition art, who envision the final effect of the film on its viewers, visually, mentally, and emotionally. While the painter and the sculptor work with physical materials, the film director works with ideas, images, sounds, and other effects to create this unique piece of art. He or she conceptualizes the scenes, directs the acting, and supervises the cinematography, and finally, the editing and sound dubbing in much the same way as a visual artist composes an artwork. First and foremost, there was the act of acting for film. With live theaters as the only form of acting that time, film actors had to learn to express themselves without the exaggerated facial expressions and gestures used on stage. With the addition of sound in the 1930s, they had to learn to deliver their lines naturally and believably. Behind the scenes, there was cinematography or the art of film camera work. This captured the director's vision of each scene through camera placement and movement, lighting, and other special techniques. This was joined by film editing, the art of selecting the precise sections of film, then sequencing and joining them to achieve the director's visual and emotional effect. Sound editing was also developed, as films began to include more ambitious effects beyond the dialogue and background music. Underlying all this was the art of production and set design. This created in physical terms through location, scenery, sets, lighting, costumes and props, the mental image that the director had of how each scene should look, what period it should depict, and atmosphere it should convey. They included creating worlds that were long gone, designing each production component down to last detail. Film genre. The public response to motion pictures was immediate and enthusiastic. From makeshift Nickelodeons in 1904 to luxurious dream palaces for middle-class moviegoers by 1914, public showings of movie were a big hit. First, there were silent films starring Charlie Chaplin and the slapstick comedy, Buster Keaton and later Laurel and Hardy. With sound still unavailable, these films relied on purely visual comedy that audiences found hilarious. Then, there emerged the gangster movie genre, as well as horror and fantasy films that took advantage of the sound technology that was available at that time. Sound plus color then allowed for further development of animated feature films as well as what became a major American genre of the 1930s, the movie screen, incorporating singing, dancing, and elaborate production number enhanced by emerging film techniques. Further development is cinematic and sound technology led to even more genres: war and disaster films, western or cowboy movies, thrillers or suspense films, historical or biological films, epic and film adaptations of literary classics. Similarly, the tremendous advances in the computer technology in recent decades have fueled the rise of futuristic or science fiction, as well as special effect movies featuring live actors, animated characters together. Documentary films were made using real-life footage as well as file materials in many to present an issue. Finally, a special genre as art films, indie or independent film, caters to small group of viewers and critics consciously concerned with the artistic merits of a motion picture. Now, let us summarize all the things that you have learned. Photography is the art, application, and practice of creating durable images by recording light or other electromagnetic radiation, either electronically by means of an image sensor or chemically by means of a light-sensitive material such as photographic film. Photography is used for arts and communication. Noteworthy Filipino photographers are George Tapan and John K. Chua. Filmmaking is the process of making film. It involves a number of discrete stages including an initial story, idea, commission, through script writing, casting, shooting, editing, and screening the finished product before an audience. Film genre includes silent films, comedy, gangster movie, horror, fantasy, animated, war, disaster, western, thrillers, historical or biological films, epic, film adaptations of literary classics, futuristic or science fiction, and lastly, documentary films. Now, let us see if you have learned something from the discussion. I want you to bring out a sheet of paper and a ball pen or pencil. I will give you 20 seconds to get them. Answer the following questions and write it on your paper. Take note that your answer will be passed on Monday. Do you already have a paper? Now, I want you to write your name and section. Then, on the center of your paper, write RBI quiz. RBI is the shortcut for radio-based instruction. Also, I want you to write the date today on the upper right corner of your paper. Again, I want you to write the date today on the upper right corner of your paper. I will only read each question twice. Are you ready? So here are our questions. Number 1. It is another art form which has risen to tremendous heights within the last century as its early name motion picture. A. Advertising. B. Animation. C. Film. D. Photo. I will repeat. It is another art form which has risen to tremendous heights within the last century as its early name, motion picture. A. Advertising. B. Animation. C. Film. D. Photo. Next. Number 2. What is the other term for film? A. Acting. B. Cinema. C. Editing. D. Photography. What is the other term for film? A. Acting. B. Cinema. C. Editing. D. Photography. Number 3. Which of the following best describes the importance of film? A. A source of popular entertainment and a powerful medium for educating or indoctrinating citizens. B. Gives array of avenue for the film actors and actresses to be more productive in their careers. C. Let people witness the problems of the world. D. Unifying people's opinion about how film affect lives. I will repeat. Number 3. Which of the following best describes the importance of film? A. A source of popular entertainment and a powerful medium educating or indoctrinating citizens. B. gives array of avenue for the film actors and actresses to be more productive in their careers. C. Let people witness the problems of the world. D. Unifying people's opinion about how film affect lives. Next, number 4. It is considered the visual basis of film. A. A powerful medium. B. Frame used for creating films. C. Universal power of communication. D. Popular entertainment. I'll repeat. Number 4. It is considered the visual basis of film. A. A powerful medium. B. Frame used for creating films. C. Universal power of communication. D. Popular entertainment. Next, number 5. Blank is the individual images that make up a film. A. Celluloid film. B. Film stock. C. Frames. D. Persistent vision. I'll repeat. Number 5. It is the individual images that make up a film. A. Celluloid film. B. Film stock. C. Frames. D. Persistent vision. Next, let us proceed to number 6. The following are terms exist for an individual motion picture except A. Moving picture. B. Picture. C. Picture show. D. Photo. I'll repeat. The following are terms exist for an individual motion picture except A. Moving picture. B. Picture. C. Picture show. D. Photo. Next, number 7. What phenomenon that narrow sense for an apparent motion that is observed if two nearby optical stimuli are presented in alteration with a relatively high frequency? A. Blood moon. B. Cold phenomenon. C. Natural. D. Phi phenomenon. I'll repeat. What phenomenon that narrow sense for an apparent motion that is observed if two nearby optical stimuli are presented in alteration with a relatively high frequency? A. Blood moon. B. Cold phenomenon. C. Natural. D. Phi phenomenon. Number 8. Blank is the application of computer graphics to create or contribute to images in art, printed media, video games, films, television programs, shorts, commercials, videos, and simulators. A. Computer animation. B. Computer-generated imagery or CGI. C. Optical soundtrack. D. Visual effects. I will repeat number 8. Blank is the application of computer graphics to create or contribute to images in art, printed media, video games, films, television programs, shorts, commercials, videos, and simulators. A. Computer animation. B. Computer-generated imagery. C. Optical soundtrack. D. Visual effect. Number 9. What year did photography come with the serious photography and the invention of celluloid film strip? A. 1700. B. 1800. C. 1985. D. 1900. I'll repeat. What year did photography come with series photography and the invention of celluloid strip film? A. 1700. B. 1800. C. 1985. D. 1900. Next, number 10. Blank is a peep show cabinet with an eye hole through which these earliest movies could be viewed one person at a time. A. Camera, B. Film strip, C. Kinetoscope, D. Stethoscope. I will repeat number 10. Blank is a peep show cabinet with an eye hole through which these earliest movies could be viewed one person at a time. A. Camera, B. Film strip, C. Kinetoscope, D. Stethoscope. Next, number 11. What do you call the person who supervises the whole film production? A. Director, B. Editor, C. Filmmaker, D. Scriptwriter. I'll repeat, number 11. What do you call with the person who supervises the whole film production? A. Director, B. Editor, C. Filmmaker, D. Scriptwriter. Number 12. Who envisions the final effect of the film on its viewers, visually, mentally, and emotionally? A. Actor-Editor, B. Director, C. Editor, D. Scriptwriter. I will repeat number 12. Who envisions the final effect of the film on its viewers, visually, mentally, and emotionally? A. Actor-Editor, B. Director, C. Editor, D. Scriptwriter. Next, number 13. What do you call with the art of selecting the precise sections of film, then sequencing and joining them to achieve the director's desired visual and emotional effect? A. Acting, B. Cinematography, C. Directing, D. Editing. I will repeat. What do you call with the art of selecting the precise section of film, sequencing and joining them to achieve the director's desired visual and emotional effect? A. Acting, B. Cinematography, C. Directing, D. Editing. Next, number 14. What do you call with the art of film camera work? A. Acting, B. Cinematography, C. Directing, D. Production or set design. What do you call the art of film camera work? A. Acting, B. Cinematography, C. Directing, D. Production or set design. So let us proceed with the last number, 15. This includes the mental image that the director had of how each scene should look, what period it should depict, and what atmosphere it should convey. A. Acting, B. Cinematography, C. Directing, D. Production or set design. Now I'll repeat number 15. This includes the mental image that the director had of how each scene should look, what period it should depict, and what atmosphere it should convey. A. Acting, B. Cinematography, C. Directing, D. Production or set design. So, those are the questions in our quiz. That is 1 to 15. Now, I want you to pass your papers on Monday together with your answers key in your written works 1 and 2. And that is all for today. I hope that you have learned something new from your new favorite school on the air through radio. This has been your teacher broadcaster in MAPE, Raymar Racasopnet of Canamongan National High School saying, be healthy and stay safe. Join me again next week as we explore the wonderful world of MAPE.